Things just keep getting worse for British Columbia's LNG aspirations as yet another major multi-billion-dollar project has been scuttled since John Horgan's NDP were vaulted into power with the support of Andrew Weaver and the Green Party earlier this year. This time, it's the Aurora LNG project that was set for Prince Rupert, British Columbia that has been cancelled. The project was one of the more advanced proposals, and it had been put forward by Nexen and Japanese partner INPEX. This is yet another blow to Prince Rupert, who also lost the $36 billion Pacific Northwest LNG project this year when Petronas pulled out. But it's also a blow to one of Canada's biggest oil and gas infrastructure companies, TransCanada, who had proposed to build a natural gas pipeline from the Montney Shale in the northeastern part of BC to the northwest BC coast. Now, there are serious doubts whether they will have any customers for their proposed pipeline. Of course, whenever a project like Aurora LNG is cancelled, cheers erupt from the headquarters of our foreign-funded environmental groups here in downtown Vancouver. And while the anti-fracking propaganda is getting old and it has been debunked countless times, these days the main factor you hear environmentalists and LNG industry skeptics suggest is that it has everything to do with how low natural gas prices have become, and this has stopped BC from becoming a player. But this is simply false. Recently, the United States began to export LNG to some Baltic states, and for a number of years now, Australia has been exporting LNG to Asia. So for me, I look at the differentiating factors between jurisdictions. I see there is no carbon tax in the US or Australia, yet in BC it sits at $30 a ton and it's going up. BC has now adopted the controversial UN Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which for all intents and purposes is basically a veto for First Nations. And of course, we have a far-left NDP government supported by the even further left Green Party in control of the province right now. These two parties are very hostile to free enterprise and the resource sector. All of these factors make British Columbia the least appealing natural gas and LNG jurisdiction in the world. And spare me the tripe that this is the kind of policy all progressives around the world want to see regarding natural gas or LNG. After all, it was just this week that Total SA, the French oil and gas company that has projects all over the world, just commissioned a massive LNG tanker that is also an icebreaker. The Christophe de Margerie is the first of 15 such icebreakers that are also LNG tankers, and it will be able to travel through the North Sea and make it to Asia in half the time it would take to go through the Suez Canal. These ships have been specially designed to service the Yamal LNG plant in northern Russia, of which Total has a 20% stake. So at a time when BC is missing the boat, quite literally, Emmanuel Macron's progressive France is building LNG icebreakers for a project they have an interest in with Vladimir Putin's Russia, and providing LNG to a region in Asia that could easily be provided to from British Columbia. Look, this is life under BC's NDP Destroyers, a jurisdiction that makes me jealous of Emmanuel Macron's France, at least when it comes to LNG. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. You know, at first it was foreign-funded environmental groups that took dead aim at Canada's resource sector, but now I fear we've elected governments that embrace the very same policies. So make sure you keep it locked to the Rebel Media's YouTube channels for all your updates on their destructive behavior.